I would need your help. I want to interview you about what it's like to work as a maid. I'd like to do a book of interviews about working for white families. And we could show what it's like to work for, say, Elizabeth.
You know what Miss Leaf will do to me if she knew I was telling stories on her?
Well, I was thinking that we wouldn't have to tell her. The other maids would have to keep it a secret, too.
Other maids?
Well, I was hoping to get 4 or 5. To show what it's really like in Jackson.
Women's role or occupation in the 1960s were to be maids to families, which were majority Caucasian families. They tended to the needs of all family members. Women started working as maids at the age of 14. The pay was too low for a single mother to raise a family, so their oldest daughter would have to become a maid.
Minnie, are you in there?
Yes, ma'am.
And just what are you doing? Get off my toilet! Oh, you are fired, Minnie Jackson!
The work conditions were even worse. They were forced to use the restroom outside of the house in a portal because the white family they serviced thought that they would get diseases if a black maid was to use their restroom. They also had to deal with the attitudes of not only the women, but the men and children. Not all the women were mean and disrespectful to the maids, but majority of them were married to men who participated in the Ku Klux Klan and had no other choice.
9, and you gotta leave before 4.
Okay. Now, what's your husband say you can pay?
While they were servicing the house and family, they were to tailor clothes, which many maids knew how to, keep total care and watch of the children, and if they were to fuss or touch the children, they were to be fired, no matter how bad the kids may have been. When they worked, they were to keep quiet and butt out of any business dealing with the families they were servicing. Their main duties as a maid were cooking, cleaning, babysitting, grocery shopping, and an overall mom in today's society.
She was of the mind to walk in someone else's shoes. If you've never waited tables, you would never know what it's like to not be left a tip. If you've never cleaned someone else's home, you would never know what it's like to facilitate someone else's life. So I think we have to actually stop removing ourselves and insert ourselves in these situations and basically live by that golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. That is the one thing that we should definitely be doing. That's what I.
Many women were fed up and disgusted with the way they were treated. Many of the families had no respect for the maids just because of the race and occupation. Others tried to reach out and help maids to get their word out. Their word as in respect. Anonymous writers would make articles about the maids in the daily newspaper, which didn't help much.
Many years, Negroes have suffered in the state of Mississippi. And we are tired of people saying that we are satisfied because we are everything but satisfied.
You can blame me, try to shame me, and still I'll care for you.
I'm right-handed with housework, and taking care of children, that just comes natural to me.
You can run around, even put me down, still I'll be there for you.
Nanny Dory. No, you try to talk to me, Miss Scholar. I know you ever since I put the first pair of diapers on you.
Black women have been caring for white babies around the 1930s, and when those children grew up, the same maid to care for them became the child's maid.
White man gonna be in a fix pretty soon. Well, what's all this talking about? This man over there, yes, you. He said women's have to be helped into carriages, lifted over ditches, and to have the best place everywhere. Well, nobody ever helped me in no carriage. Over no mud puddles who gives me any best place and ain't our woman. Look at me. Look at my arms. I done plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't our woman.
Southern black maids have helped grow our society into what it is today. With the rights and responsibilities they had, they've raised many of the powerful leaders today from generations of their service. A lot of maids taught and raised other women kids, then raised their kids, and even raised those kids' kids. So we thank you.
Women cook all your food, they wash all your clothes. We pick